Ooh, welcome back. In this episode, I will be starting on well, the farm, actually. And we're starting off with the time lapse first, so I can go ahead and get that out of the way. And believe it or not, this only took me about an hour to get the entire thing done. Um, I used flint and steel, that helped me a lot. Uh, the stone houses, it didn't really help me all that much, but it still helped, you know. Um, but the most painful of it all is definitely the dirt. Placing all the dirt, getting rid of the dirt, that was just the most painful. Easy to get rid of, don't get me wrong, but such a mess. And it might only look like a couple minutes to y'all through this, but that's because it's sped up. For me, it was hours of just doing this. Having to empty out my inventory. Almost every house I had to empty out my inventory. And it was just, sure, it was peaceful, but it wasn't the best thing I could have done today. But all in all, I think it's starting to turn out a bit better. Right, I got all these holes filled up. I got that area of dirt all gone and whatnot. And then all of this, that's gonna be farm. Potatoes on one side, on the other side carrots. And that entire hill, the entire hill, I plan on getting rid of that soon too. Not today, but soon. But it truly was interesting to do this because the thing is, I'm I'm one of those people who try to get the most out of the land. So when I use water, I'm doing it 8 blocks apart. I'm getting as much land as I can using it. But due to how close, each block is on the hills, it's very difficult to do that without terraforming and trying to make it look natural. Well, for me, anyways. But um, my dumb self just decided to fill up the this entire hole instead of just making a layer of dirt. I learned from that though. I did learn from that though. As as I proved myself wrong from here, as I fill it up. And I mean, I would not stop finding all of these holes. I didn't know that there's this many caves. I did find iron though, so that was fun. You never know when you're gonna need iron. But I just want to let y'all know, this is definitely the longest time I've spent in a hardcore world. That's my own. Any other hardcore world that I spent more than like 50 days on, it was someone else's. Uh, one of them was my buddy's because he made it to 100 days, but he died to a glitch, so he asked me on to see if I can figure out what the glitch was. Uh, Turns out there's a bug because he was copying over the safe files too much, so when he joined in, he instant died. But it truly was fun doing this series. Even though I'm not getting a lot of viewers or any views on this, it is fun and it takes a whole lot of time to do this too. I mean, I spent the entire day doing this, right, and doing other things, but I started this project when I woke up, and that was at 10. It is now 5. So it took me a long time. Did I already start farming already? Okay. But as you can see, I decided to start over here, and I'm gonna have potatoes right here, and that's gonna be it, going all the way through. As you can see, I'm collecting my potatoes, and also bamboo. And how it's gonna work is we're gonna have potatoes, and then we're gonna have a cobblestone road right next to it, then carrots. Okay, and then a nice wall surrounding it all. And then on this side, we're gonna have wheat and beetroot. Just we need to get rid of this hill first. And pay no attention to that hill over there. But, I mean, if I start right here, it should be able to make it down to there. Give me enough farmland. But this truly was a fun project, and I will be continuing this in another episode. But you kind of need potatoes, so you gotta let that grow, and then you can go ahead start. Now, I don't want it to go all the way to the lake. What I was thinking is it can go all the way down to the level of the lake, go out a bit, and then stop. That was my idea. But I don't. I'll see how it turns out. Now I could just turn this whole hill into farm, and not have to worry about terraforming. But if I were to terraform, I can get more land and much more accessibility when it comes to plants. Because if you take a look at right here, right? Let's say this is a scaled down version. We're only gonna have one block each layer until you get to the flat part. So it's best if I were to extend it out, like I am here, and make it somewhat a bit natural. That way I can get more land. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. I had no clue that was 9 minutes long. And of course, my game wants to freeze as soon as I get on. There we go. I had no clue that was 9 minutes, though. I really do need a better food source. But I want to show y'all how much dirt I got from this. So the dirt thing should be right over here. There we go. And it's still filling up. How much do I have over here? Yeah. And that's not even all the dirt. I used most of it for filling up holes. These got some dirt there. There's a cat there. Got materials there. More dirt. I mean, I have a whole double chest up here, full of just materials that I used, or that I got from all of this. And then, of course, there's this chest that had my materials when I started this. But all that cobblestone, all that wood, which is why I decided to burn down the forest, as you can see. But I should probably go ahead and plan it out. How to turn night. Sorry, I had to leave game. Had to do some stuff. So I completely forgot what I was talking about. Um, but the farm is starting to look like an actual farm. All these slabs and cobblestone and whatnot that I got from uh from that will be used to make the roads. Um, I can throw in some gravel as well. Um, trying to think of something that I'm going to need. My first time. Um, I'm trying to think because there was something that I needed or wanted to do for this episode, besides, continue to farm. Um, but truly after the time lapse, I can't really think of anything besides continuing to farm. Alright, I can start on the road and share all my ideas. Oh, we're gonna need that. Sure, why not? This. So, really, I don't have any gravel? Okay. So right here is where we're gonna split it, so we can do. This is also gonna count as a wall or barrier, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so we need a nice, steady, settle road. You can add all sorts of detail and whatnot. Right? And the idea of the road is so it's not, completely even. Right? Looks like it's been here for a while. And we're gonna need nice wall. But the stairs really do add a nice touch. So does gravel, if y'all ever, decide on making road. Gravel is a really nice touch a lot of times. Can I make mossy, um, can you make mossy stairs? Here's chest. The chest is over here. Okay, almost. Okay, you can't. Let's take some of that. This. Okay, like I said, you don't want it too even, but you also don't want it too uneven. You understand? And just by adding some of these, it's not, you can make it look a bit more fancy, right? But having a cobblestone turning into a dirt, gravel, and path type, that is actually really nice too, because then you can work on shading, and it really helps you with, shading. So going from cobble to earth really makes it pop out a bit more. So it starts to become less cobble and stone and moss, and it starts to become gravel and then paths and dirt and grass. Huh. But if you haven't noticed, all the gravel is underwater. So what we need to do is find a nice mountain. And as I say this, I realize the Caves and Cliffs update hasn't happened yet, so finding a nice mountain might be a bit tricky. Possible, but tricky. Right over here. I'm pretty sure you can get a lot from over here. As I run out of food. Now, I don't really have a plan for over here. I guess I could make like a natural iron farm over here instead of having that small one right over yonder. Gotta make sure I got inventory for this. Okay, there's okay. And I'm sorry if this seems boring. It's just I really need to like do something on camera instead of just time lapse the entire time. Because voice overing gets very annoying because you know what's going to happen. And for me, I'm one of those people who spoil things by accident. So, so I'll try not to do that. And I'm still trying to find a good song. Y'all see this, right? Okay, keep that there. I'm still trying to find a good song for time lapses because I don't really think y'all really want to hear me just talk. I mean, there's some times where if the time lapse is short enough, you can like say, so I did this and this, but I decided to do that instead. right? And you can like explain your process a bit. But if it's a long time lapse, you can just say, and time lapse starting now, and then music. Or you can fade into music as you're getting into the time lapse. But in case y'all didn't know, my editing skills is absolutely horrible. I don't like editing my footage. I only like cutting my footage to make it a bit shorter. It's gonna be the same amount of time for me, but a bit shorter for y'all, right? Speaking of which, how long have I been recording? I try to keep it under 20 minutes, and it's only 21 minutes. Okay, I didn't know that. But these projects usually take 1 to 2 episodes, and then like one episode, me saying, okay, so this is what I want to do next, and the next episode, getting all the materials for it and whatnot. I know last episode, I was trying to get everything all done, and then I had to keep on going into the nether because the villagers turned, so I had to do that, and that video isn't even uploaded yet, so yeah. But look at how peaceful and nice Minecraft is when there aren't any mobs out. And I truly hope nobody from Stoneworks is watching this. Stoneworks is this Minecraft server that I'm part of, and I used to be a builder on it since I owned a town and whatnot, but I'm not that good with texturing, as you might be able to include, right? I'm not good at texturing. Uh, I still haven't decorated the the base yet. Other than that, let's watch this sunset together. Ah, absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Mm, yeah. There's also an iron golem there. I think he's stuck. Okay. But isn't this just so peaceful? And I wish I had music on, but music gets in the way sometimes. But it's so nice, so peaceful. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Good.